Ladies and gentlemen, your boy Sino's back at it again with another cast. We're back in the Champions League. We're back to back. Lower bracket finals now. It's a best out of three. We'll be seeing CC again, and let's see the game in front of us for the day, ladies and gentlemen. And what a game that is! CC, guess where they are again? You have them on Nighthaven. When are they never on Nighthaven? These guys are on here 24/7 no matter what. You have to wonder why teams continue to allow them to play it with no problem whatsoever. So, see how it'll play out. A lot to be done here. All they need to do, get the walls open, and they have themselves on attack first. As we do know, they usually do that, but Legion Shotgun, a ban that's actually just uncontestable. When you don't ban him, you pay the price, and Abolish learns that the hard way. First pick is on the board for RPK. The traditional play from Quickie here allows easy entry into electrical. He uses the flame bolt accordingly, but 1C4 could end his life. A goo mine distracting. That Legion shotgun is just a pain to deal with. Quickie getting downed as well. And oh, what an attacking round this is. It's gone all wrong. What is happening here, CC? But this is what they have happening for them. They falter one round and they bring it back the next. Tried a little bit different things for the first round here, and apparently automatic timers don't work. Gazer trying to contest here on the roof, completely unaware that the Mute is waiting for him on the corner. Mute going for the gunfight here, but Gazer knows better than to walk into that. Vizsla going down because that shotgun, it's so good at distance. It's just so good at everything it can do. And ISO here is on an ace. Can he find it? It just does so much damage. It packs such a punch. The question is, who will be able to end out the round? And the ace from ISO will give us that answer very soon. Good shots, and what a defensive round, because upstairs has now been claimed by RPK. And that sends us into our basement round nice and easy. Downstairs will be their next choice of poison. The question is, can they do it with the same velocity they were doing it with upstairs? You had one man swinging everything, and now he's off the shotgun. Can we rely on him with a fully automatic? Haven't seen him play much since Way disbanded his turtle team. Haven't seen much of them recently, but now seeing him move on to a double OG team, we're going to be interested to see how they will be playing it out. Obviously, first impressions mean everything in his first round. He brought in an ace, so great first impressions all around, if I might add. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Just gotta get these technical difficulties out the way. We already know how they play it out. Get the main breach open and start attacking in from EXO. It's always the coordination that makes CC such a feared team, especially on this map. I don't think I've witnessed them lose yet on this map. It's all about how executing very slowly, taking their time to drone. It's all about how they do that. And that first round loss was showing us that that can be dissected. Vizsla jumping to conclusions and getting in the building as fast as possible. 2 bodies right now to deal with. Is there going to be more? early gunfight here, but no damage taken off either body. But Zoli has that change for him as he is now trapped into the corner of a lounge. What's he gonna do in this situation? EMP's rolling out. Everything here is starting to come together. My apologies here for CC. They're getting the executes, they're getting the bodies, they're pushing as such a heavy force. A minute 30 left in play, and they've cleared one. Make that to his crypto opens up on the window, and I'm pretty sure this man's playing on a TV. Big ups this guy. It's great to see him back. It's great to see him playing, and he's already getting frags. Crypto for one, quickie for the next, and this is already looking better than the last round. A minute 10 on the board. EXO has now been claimed as CC's. Can they claim onto it now? You have them Lucy in the corner, trying to deny here from the assembly hop-up. The question is, what can these flank operators do? They haven't cleared the third one. They cleared 1 and 2, but we were always talking about that third one that's on that soft drone. Can he find anything? Model tries to get very aggressive here to find one. Gazer almost getting refragged very easily here, but no bueno for him as he will get refragged. Legion trying to drop the hatch, giving away his position. It's a flawless round, but a double kill of Stargazer. Quick shots, quick reactions by the man on the breach himself will give him 2, and that will be CC for a response of their own. Why let them go to this map? Take it away from them. I don't care if Bank will stay on the board. Why don't you ban CC on Nighthaven? It doesn't make sense to me. These guys are insane on this map. But apparently nobody cares, and that is the reason we are right back on here. This is the 3rd series in a row where they have their best map. Zoli now, the man assigned to roaming. The question is, who is going to join him? You'll have Zoli on the roam. Foreign definitely going to be assigned to keeping either Animus or the double breach kept close. Paul's going to be that easy, quick kill if he can line up a C4 here. An alternative to Valkyrie, but Valkyrie's not banned. As the bans are glitched in game, you can see at the top though, Tabaro and Azami are the defensive bans. 2 operators that can actually restructure the map. One keeping areas closed for longer, and the other one adding in invisible barricades, or not invisible, but adding in barricades that are very, very difficult to deal with. Having Valkyrie kind of adds on when there's a lot of verticality on this site, but she was just not worth it. They had her last round and she didn't really contribute to a lot. Zoli on the front lines a little faster. Usually you have a Goyo place on this double door, but Zoli decides to get his hands dirty a little bit and will retreat, as that is a quick way to get taken down. You do see teams usually reinforce this kitchen double to avoid getting wallbanged, but it doesn't seem like that is going to be a priority here for RPK. A lot to be done here. Ace already getting nice and lucky on the breach, opening up what I would imagine is the double breach. Doesn't even need Animus. We don't see CC attacking Animus much. They don't try going for that risky funnel strat. They open up the breach. They go for the exo push, and they get what is needed to be done and finished. 2 players so far spotted on drones. That'll be the Goyo and the Vigil. Have they found the Malusi? To be done here, but they're already looking a little bit more conform than the last time. The way they're playing together really is starting to work out. Last time around, they were down 2 bodies at this time of round. Now the question is, can they manage to hold on to it? Don't want to speak too fast. The caster's curse is a real thing. Looking for C4. IQ sees the vigil ability, and does she see the cardiac sensor? You'll have Abolish trying to walk down. Model going for a C4, and that'll be IQ's life claimed, but Abolish there for the quick refrag. You got to be careful of the corners. You literally have a heartbeat sensor. You got to check every possible corner. Abolish finding a nice little refrag to put his team right back up at even. Vizsla double stacking onto Exo and Crypto coming to join in the fight. Abolish dealing some damage, but can't find the headshot quite yet. Dealing some damage, and that is imperative no matter what. But Ruffy will eventually win that gunfight and claim to be victorious. Vigil now alongside with the Malusi on the roam, and this is starting to look a little bit better here for RPK as they're winning their gunfights. Quick pre-fire from Foreign, grabs him a double, and what a shot. Zoli has lost his mind, getting a little aggressive here, letting the victory get to his mind. But what a well-executed round as everybody stepped up to the task. Pulse got a kill before he went down. Ruffy won his ones, Vigil got 2, And what a round this has been. Crypto not quite ready to say goodbye yet, as he is going to keep himself on the board to find a kill. And from here, he is going to have to deal with the bodies upstairs before he can even get close to the site. Completely unaware that there is a man behind him. I feel like Zoli has to know. Oh, Zoli, oh, Zoli, oh, Zoli. You have a man trying to get aggressive here. You're going to absolutely Batman him and you'll win the gunfight. And that's RPK for 2 on defense. But we're only in the open stages of the round and the game and the series. It's all about, can we hold on to the lead? Can we play out this game properly? And right now, RPK is proving yes. But can they carry it on? Lots to be done here. They'll go back upstairs as the rotation parameter unlocks the site they've won once. They don't have a lot of fully automatic guns on the primaries, but they do have the SMG-11. They do have the SMG-12. So the shotguns usually are a sacrifice to the full defender arsenal, especially in the long-range gunfights. They put them at a disadvantage. Those holographics at long range can be a little dreadful, but these shotguns just prove so much more useful, and they're so much more significant than the long-range gunfights because of rooms such as electrical. You have electrical closed down with the Legion shotgun or just Warden shotgun. Nobody's making it out alive. We've seen Quickie use his flame bolts against multiple teams, and it works every single time. This time around, we saw him try to use it, and he got Legion shotguns 2-tapped in the face, and he advanced in very easily. He couldn't find his way into electrical, and he got fragged out very easily. Abolish that spear entry. Always can do his job correctly. Needs to do it extra correctly this time. Don't know if that's a grammatically correct sentence, but it's the only thing that makes sense to me, as this was a dreadful round the last time around. But they're off to a better start as they've shut down ISO, the man who hasn't been able to find a kill in the last 2 rounds. Legion shotgun shut down the last time around on the site. He grabbed 5 kills. Off to a better start. The question is the aggression coming in from RPK going to make that short-lived? And that is quickly answered as Zoli. Quick headshot will get a refrag, but Quickie is right on it as you'll find Ruffy. Warden now waiting to get active here in the corner. Zoli swings for 2. Almost finds the 3rd, but Quickie's there for the 3rd kill. Both teams really just getting opportunities of a lifetime to execute, and they're really capitalizing on it here. Mute finding a kill, and that's the C4. Gazer, 1:30 left on the clock, and 2 bodies to claim. Can RPK find their 2nd round consecutively and their 3rd in total, or are they going to fall to the man himself? Vulcan canisters are up, but there's a breach to be hopped through. The question is, are you guys unified enough to be able to make this a 2v1? Are you going to allow him to pick you off one by one? Stargazer aware that there's a man sitting in the corner. The question is, can he bait him out? That shotgun does deal a quite significant amount of damage once in close range. And Goyo at distance definitely doesn't make that easier, and that's what we're saying. 100 HP instantly shredded off the thermite as he falls to RPK's Mute, and that'll be the 3rd round for them on the board, and they'll have 2 more before they switch on. Lots of teams have a split decision when it comes to either opting for control or kitchen, but usually the teams that know how to play verticality perform better on control, just because of the amount of floors there are to floor bang when the plant's going down, and because of the verticality that upstairs has to offer. Lots to be done here, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean that for both teams, really. We're only just starting this series. It's a best out of 3, meaning these teams are going to have to keep this same level of momentum. Mainly RPK, because they're the ones with the lead. They're going to have to keep the same momentum for the games to come. They move on to Clubhouse, which is their map after this. And if they can win this map, it'll be much, much easier on them to be able to claim the victory to go on to the grand finals. And if you are just joining us, this is the first map of a best out of 3 series to claim the grand final spot. The first map will be Night Haven, which we are currently on. The second will be Clubhouse. And the third, Need We Be, goes on to Cafe Dostoevsky. Three operators here assigned to playing the verticality. No pulse, and Vizsla is going to be the first boot on the ground to start walking it. C4 getting ready to be tossed into electrical, and it will be done successfully. Quickie, you've died to that now twice, the same thing in a row. You have to be aware. Come on. And that's what will claim the life of the verticality off the soft breacher. Ram is going to go down. They have the floors in some of the breaches from the Ash, but it's not going to have the same impact here. Losing a body quite early in the round is also detrimental to the attacker's push. And can they claim upstairs in a timely manner before the clock starts to tick down and they're losing precious seconds that they cannot make up for later in the round? RPK taking a little bit more of a traditional stationary style. Playing like Wrath, they like to call it, but not foreign. Got a kill, got aggressive, and it didn't work out in his favor. They need to claim, and they cannot. You have Abolish trying to get aggressive here, but Crypto going to be the man to walk in the servers with no problem here. Looking to get a kill here off the verticality. Nice and patient, but you guys still have bodies to deal with on the verticality. You've wasted 2 C4s now. Good job. They don't have the utility, but what can you build off of that? Clock ticking down. Less than a minute left on the clock, and all 3 of you are playing upstairs while these bodies are all waiting to get lucky. Zoli, a very aggressive player, is going to get aggressive again. Surprise, surprise, and it might work this time as there's no flank drones to realize that there's a man waiting, and he'll grab 2 again. There's no way that you guys let it happen multiple times, and there's no way Zoli wins the 3rd gunfight. He's unchallengable, and he's making it known, and he'll get the 3rd to get his clip, give his team the 3-round advantage, and RPK are starting to run amok with this defensive lead. One more round to solidify a 5-1 lead. Can they put the nail in the coffin? Their last defensive round will be on tank and assembly. They've lost it once. They've won it once. Can they make their differential positive? It's a 50-50 for them to win or lose. But right now, looking at how CC is playing, they are the ones that'll fall short to RPK. We've seen split up versions of their holds. The first time they adapted a kitchen extension with the reinforcements, and it was no bueno. So now they've just pulled it back into lounge, soft areas around the L hall, and it's been working out. Won the first round off of straight 1v1s, and now the fact that they're learning to just not be scared is the single-handed reason they are deciding to win. This game is all about adapting to your enemy's playstyle, and RPK is starting to do this perfectly. Vigil looking to be the first man to get into an interaction this round, getting as aggressive as he did last time, but this time around, there's nobody waiting. Foreign staying committed to Animus, but knowing the way Stargazer plays, we've seen him attack the same thing multiple times. They do not go for the Animus breach. They open up the main and execute on Exo. from there. First blood goes in the favor of RPK, and he'll claim Crypto's life. And we have Quickie about to meet his maker if he doesn't check his corners. You know there's a vigil on the board. The question is, have you droned it out correctly? And no, you haven't, but he'll still win the gunfight. The trails were going off, but Quickie will emerge victorious, and you'll have Ruffy go down shortly after. What was once the benefit for RPK quickly switches in 20 seconds, now in the favor of CC. ISO going for a long flank here and might be detrimental to the late round executes for CC, but can he do it in a timely manner where the boots aren't in sight here? Mira trying to get stationary here, getting a good angle. And right now, she has to know that there's somebody waiting for her. C4 tries to get lucky, but to no avail. 4 and left in a 1v4 situation. ISO watching the double verticality, but what'll they do when they realize it doesn't matter if they can just execute on the single person in sight? So much pressure building up on one person. Under a minute left on the execute, and he's still not moving. He has the hatch to drop Animus, but the question is, why isn't he hurrying? Quickie has to have heard that both teams are really weary, and that is what you have to adore. Giving up his position, ISO has now lost the stealth element, wins the gunfight. So much needed in this case, and now he will walk away with 100 of his health, and he needs to continue to reap what he sows, because the clock is ticking down and he's trying to play verticality. He'll win the second gunfight, evening out the bodies. 2v2 situation, still job's not finished. Vizsla will go down. It's a 1v2 situation, and they might have turned it from a 4v2 to a 1v2. Can they secure the round? Gazer, he's defusing the bomb. You need to do something about that. And all you need to do is win one gunfight. You'll win the second. Gazer barely hanging on to close out the differential now to just 2 rounds. The CC team needs to get their act together because they have almost just thrown a 4v2. What an interesting turn of events. This is the most odd game that I have seen. It's gone back and forth, all in the wrong moments. All things that I have never thought would happen. But all that matters now is we're going to see the team that has this map unlocked. They practice this map all the time. They pick it every single time. We'll see them play it now on their preferred side. Defense on NHL is like going to heaven early. It is so easy to play defense. It's so easy to play as a team, but not very easy if you have one of your teammates at 239 ping. As the match point is slowly creeping up on us, the question is, who will be up to the task of winning the game? 2-round advantage means it is anybody's game. It's the most dangerous advantage because anything can happen. Gazer dealing damage and receiving honestly the same amount, so it's a little bit of a fair trade here, but has a stim waiting for him, meaning he will be the one that'll emerge with the most health. Lots to be done here. 1 breach already opened, 2 more to be touched, and they will get connector as the first. Will Vizsla choose to reinforce off the connector wall? 4 bodies here are concentrating this. Quick 1-tap from Sticky. Quickie, it's all over the monitor, buddy, because he's managed to do it every single time I spectate this game. Always on Nighthaven does he manage to 1-tap somebody off the window, and honestly, can you really blame the dude? First call goes out. Selma Breach jammered off, but if it gets EMP'd, they'll have free reign of this wall. It's about to be anybody's game as Gazer tries to get lucky here. Sticky put in a horrible position, fragged out. Not much you could have done there. The breach soon to be opened if they can get it open with the Ash Breach, but claimed by a Wamidis, none left. And it's just mayhem everywhere. Abolish clips a late body, a nice little headshot. Vizsla looking to find the second, getting ashed out. For some reason, their spear entries, the case carrier. They're looking to have somebody be the odd one out, trying to push in from IT, but it has to be fast. Otherwise, it's going to be a horrible round for them. Vizsla capitalizes. Quick one will get Zoli for one. Model for the second, almost throwing the lead yet again, but it's a 1v1 and Abolish. You can't be dying there. No way you let Zoli become the man, the myth, the legend. Ring around the rosy. DMR versus SMG. Shotgun, it's switching from back and forth. Twinkle toes as both teams, and it'll be Zoli to emerge again. He's a psychopath. It works. Ring around the rosy. It all falls down. Vizsla, wow. Abolish can't be dying there, and that is going to be a rough round for CC as they'll head on to 1 round shy of match point, and they're not the ones in the lead. That is a talk you need to have with your team. Can we keep the advantage? Can we bring it back? The answer is no both times, because what just happened? 1 round away from match point. They have defense, so it's not impossible. But these rounds are going to have to be executed to near perfection if they're interested in a comeback. Bodies falling at all the wrong times. Can they keep this mirror up is the main question. It's a risky mirror to begin with, because if you lose it, it essentially makes this wall utterly useless unless you are the most aggressive player like Zoli. Never seen a guy get hit for 90 damage and sprint at the man who's 1v1ing full speed. But yeah, I mean, everybody has their own playstyle. Who am I to judge? Breach getting opened with little to no competition or contest. Teams looking to be playing a little bit more safe. Quickie cannot be dying off electrical here. It is honestly an understatement of the century on how important this room is, especially if the man playing it has a shotgun. This room is the single pathway. It's either flanking connector or keeping sight as a lockdown pathway. The question is, who's going to be passionate enough to stop them from overwhelming the one man playing there? Quick shot by Vizsla takes care of Zoli, and you don't have that fragger to rely on anymore. F-Naught's hitting foreign as he will be trying to push in to Rafters, making his position known, avoids the stealth aspect. Abolish finding one. Can he find the second as there's another one wrapping around? Can't quite find that kill. They're losing bodies, but they find it quickly. And what is ISO doing? Quick, easy kill for him, and he's looking at the ground. Fall short, case loose, 1v2 situation, and the man's outside. 1 minute left on the clock, and Gazer knows better than to contest with less than 50 HP against an AR. All about the time, really. Can we just run down the clock? The case loose, F-Naughts are somewhere on the map. Impacts are there for the denial. Can they just keep this game of keep away on board? Gazer making his position known, but if his teammates watching his cross, it shouldn't matter. Crypto playing a little bit safe, but maybe a little too safe, because somebody's gonna have to make a decision here, and it looks like Model will be the one to be doing that. And what the hell is Thatcher doing? Just received shots from two ends to confirm the positions and completely forgot about it. And he'll fall. CC victorious, and that will close the differential to just 2. Interesting rounds as we head on in to the 9th. Seriously doubting if we can get past the 11th. But CC had a much, much better conformed round. The question is, can they keep it up? What a game this has been, ladies and gentlemen. It's not every day you see CC trailing on Nighthaven Labs, but we do know this is one of the best sites to spectate when it comes to them. I've seen some crazy things happen on this site, including this game on that 4v2 situation. Those are just simply rounds we cannot be getting close to even losing. If you didn't have a man like Stargazer on your team, this game would have been long done by now. Abolish almost meeting his maker so fast, but luckily passive is your best friend, and he will be playing passive, as that close encounter definitely has to make him think twice. Zoli, not surprisingly, is already in the building. 30 seconds in and he's already claimed the 3rd floor, and he'll be alongside with the Ashes. They are the 2 boots on the ground. Model teaming up alongside with them, and the question is, how are they going to receive well? Because if they start blowing up the floor from above them, how is CC gonna start playing? Getting very aggressive seems to be the idea here, but one Bosta shot, may I remind you, is a lot more lethal than a lot of people think when it's closer than 10 meters. Nerf, no nerf, it doesn't matter, but a quick wallbang from ISO takes care of that. Goodbye to that Bosti, as the other defenders have absolutely no reaction to that. What are these wallbangs, as 2 of them have now connected? 3 for Foreign, as they are just flying in the building. And ladies and gentlemen, we're heading on into match point. All 4 players have been dissected in a matter of seconds. Flying down cargo, flawless for the 2nd time this game, has gone in the favor of RPK, and they are completely floating. Nothing needed except for a good job towards RPK, because it's not even essentially them playing bad. It's just RPK playing too good to deal with. They're capitalizing on everything. They cleared the roamers in 45 seconds. Wow. You have 2 players who aren't afraid of anything, and 3 who are willing to play the operators needed, pick up the slack, and still manage to get kills. Just wow. What is this roster? I would have never thought to see Zoli and ISO on the same team, but it's working, as Foreign is also making his impact known. Match point. They will be headed on to the basement again. One more round until upstairs locks. The question is, can they hold out that long? As we were speaking on before, these walls always are just something that is differing from team to team. Now it's reinforced on kitchen. The question is, how is that going to prove them useful? And let's see it in action when either the Ace gets to it or when Zoli gets to it. But he's on the other side of the map and looks like he doesn't have intentions. Droning the 3rd floor, always essential to get rid of that weird suspicion of any lurkers. But those lurkers are all going to be on the 2nd floor, so it's time to get to work. One roamer. Hopefully they won't have a result as last time, and they will not. Flawless no longer in the discussion. The question is Bandit going to toss up a C4 with a man just circling around him? Ash seems to be completely unaware as where her teammate just died from, and it looks like CC is here to stay as they're managing to find some bodies. They're going to have to hold on to it, though, because we've seen them throw 2-man advantages very, very easily. Azoli plays very patient. ISO is getting the breaches open, getting what is needed to be done, but there's the first pick as Ruffy gets the next C4 a little bit too early, a little bit too excited as he doesn't throw it in the right area of the map, and that'll claim the life of nobody. But Vizsla has a different plan with his Vector as he lands a headshot straight onto Model and gets rid of him. Zoli gone as well. Quick shots by ISO, threads the needle. What a shot! And now 3v2, Crypto being an absolute powerhouse from this hatch. The question is, can he find a third? Everybody's just unaware of this. If he backs up, he's dead. But he looks like he knows, and he's going to go for the gunfight. A little bit of ring around the rosy here, but Bandit is dead to right. Ace just needs to keep holding an angle. Don't walk into it, Crypto. Don't walk into it, Crypto. Bodies up. Under a minute. Bandit is going to be either dropped on or ISO'd here. But the 2 is going to be the latter as he is going to be walking down for it. But Ram's just getting aggressive here, and it's going to work out as you need to open that up a little bit faster. The impact works as the stun hits himself, but Crypto doesn't go down easy. He gets a triple kill this round, and that'll send them to 2 rounds as the differential. CC prolonging the fate a little bit longer, the beginning of a comeback, or is this the end? If they go to overtime, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an infinite overtime league. I've never done this lower bracket before, so let's see how it'll turn out. It'll be a little interesting. But if they do manage to take this to 6-6, we're going to be here for a while, as it is a win by 2 infinite OT. ISO has some fans in the chat, and honestly, rightfully so. His aim absolutely locked in. Can he keep it up, though, when his team needs it the most? Because if they can secure one of these 2 rounds before it heads on into overtime, they'll be in for a great surprise of taking CC's best map away from him. Looks like there will be a man committed to the bandit trick. The question is, are they going to be able to get it in time? Nope, because he thinks it's just a jammer. But it is the electroshocks that'll take care of it. 1 exothermic taken care of, 1 left. They have both hard breachers, otherwise this would have been a completely different conversation. Thatcher getting on, and the breach has verticality established, but is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to do it? No, he isn't, and he loses his life in the process. Absolutely rough, and that is something you cannot afford this late in the game, but Crypto doesn't have a problem being the 2nd man on the MP7 to get a kill, and that will be Model 4 Gazer, and that's an even trade if you ask me. Thatcher, Twitch, or Ash need to get rid of the F-Nauts that are in the pesky positions that nobody wants to deal with. But looks like Thermite is going to take matters into his own hand as he'll just shoot it off, and nobody's going to be there to swing it. What's the idea here? And that is the question that'll be asked the second we see what Zoli is going to do. You have two players establishing the verticality, one for the mirrors and the other one waiting for a flank. That might or might not happen. But it looks like Vizsla's right back in his trademark rat spot. He does it so well, but you're moving too much and he knows exactly where you are. Have you checked the door? Have you checked the door, Vizsla? A gunfight about to ensue, but ISO playing very patiently. Patience the virtue in this case. So many divided attacks here as you have one man assigned for everything. And there's no way he hasn't heard him sitting close. Mira popped. C4 used. And Ace needs to go for something here. Looking to walk in. But do you know where Vizsla is? The Bailiff on Rafters is going to work, but it's still going to be about this gunfight. And Vizsla somehow loses it. But 2 for Abolish with the Bailiff. He's made it look like a primary shotgun. But now they have IQ or IT control, my apologies. They also have the breach. They can just walk in and go for a plant while one watches the cross, but one's getting too aggressive here as he falls to the third with the Bailiff. Abolish the fourth, but with the MP5. Who the hell makes the Bailiff look better than the MP5? I'll give you an answer. His name starts with an A, it ends with an N, and he plays for CC as he somehow is still negative, but single-handedly wins his team the round. 5-6. 1 round stands between OT and Clubhouse. The question is, can RPK capitalize? What an interesting round. They take kitchen. We were talking. It's personal preference when it comes to this site. Can you hold a site that has double verticality, one from below and one from above? Or are you going to prefer a site that has a little bit more shoddy angles, such as the hop-ups, the kitchen floors, and all of EXO? Are you going to choose to extend? Are you going to choose to confine yourself to site and have a frost above? It's all about how you're going to play, and it looks like they're going to be going with the latter, as they are going to be bringing the frost and the shield for upstairs. Abolished, had a round, definitely enough to put him back in the game, get his head right back to where it needs to be able to confirm himself as a viable player. Was a little bit silent earlier now, getting shut down on Ash, but looks like he's woken up. The question is, can he maintain it? Zoli, Foreign haven't been able to get a kill since that basement round, and right now, this is where everything can change. Shield getting burnt off very easily. No MIs, no ADSs to deal with, and the first call will be used to find the people on the edge. Ram, Ace establishing upstairs, opening up the single now. Dokkaebi on the board, trying to add in that pressure. Would have been good pressure, but no, she is no longer with us and will be claimed. 3 people assigned. 1 C4 can be the most catastrophic thing about this round. Who is going to step up, though, because both C4s are off-site, but doesn't matter. Quickie finds 2 before he goes down. Crypto, punch hole, rat spot. Takes care of business, though. Doesn't matter as he's dissected verticality. The man who can roam clear. He's done it all. The one player who's the most aggressive has now gone down. The man with 13 still up, though. The frag are still possible to do something, and he's the only man left alive. 4v1, and it looks like we're going to infinite OT for the first time in my casting career in a playoff game that isn't the grand final. ISO, a nice little flame surprise if he decides to hop in, but capitalizes on the kill. Makes it a 3v1, and can he find it is the question. CC just need to keep the bodies here. Ace, definitely a man who practices caution, but not cautious enough to crypto 60 hertz MP7 as a quick shot. I'll send him into the double OT. And oh ladies, here it starts. This is going to be a little interesting. I am so intrigued to see how this round's gonna end up. This might be our longest map of the day if they decide to battle it out to the death. It's a win by 2 scenario, and you'll have CC maintaining their defensive rounds. They'll choose upstairs. They've won it twice. They've lost it once. Perfect sites to choose. The perfect area you want to be able to grab rounds, because this is not an area. This is not a time, which is the better word, where you want to falter. You need all the rounds in a timely manner everywhere you can get, especially on defense, because if you can carry that momentum over onto attack, you can claim the first map and call it yours. Oh, no. Looks like Monty's on the board. Top fragger on Monty. A little bit of an interesting sight to see, but maybe he's just really good at it. Monty tries to get aggressive, falls. Quickie, shotgun to the face. Takes care of Zoli. Say goodbye to your top 2 fraggers as you've now assigned your bottom 3 support players to go for it. Hard Breacher, no longer a thing. Ash trying to walk up rafters, executed in cold blood as her screen was bright purple, and those were her last moments before she got sent to her maker. And we're a minute in, and 3 bodies have been sacrificed in quite an easy amount of time. Trying to walk in here, Model will find 2, who will fall. We almost saw the beginning of a comeback, but the man with potentially a chance to clutch. 1 HP, 3 bodies to find. I don't like to use the word impossible, but we are slowly edging closer to that definition. Baiting, the only thing to do in this situation until you can find an opening. No breaches are open, so that means external play is going to be the main idea. Cardiac scanner takes away that stealth. They know exactly where he'll be. And the pre-fire UMP, P-shooter, no P-shooter won't matter, as Abolish will claim 2 this round. And that will be the first time this series CC has claimed the lead. And they will go on to match point. Infinite OT, no infinite OT. It still means win by 2. CC have the opportunity to close it out right here. They have literally fought tooth and nail alongside with RPK. The aggression RPK brought in earlier this game is just not working anymore. CC adapted, and now are they going to continue to adapt, or are we going to see a quick switch in the plays? Quick rush, they thought it was what they needed, but now you have ISO back on a shotgun. Can he continue to bring the absolute pressure, the absolute damage that he brings on this shotgun to his team's defense, or is he gonna fall short like he did the last time around? The first time in nearly 8 rounds they have been back on defense. Yes. The question is, are they going to make the most out of it? They're going for the same pushes. It's worked for them twice and lost them one round. They're looking at a positive win rate. The question is, can they keep it up? They have a 66 win percent on this one site. Can they keep it up? They have done a spectacular job when it's come to burning Miras. Zoli dropping, looking for a C4 pick, looking to do something here. Might be able to perfectly narrate this Ash because the barbed wire is being broken. But she'll quickly run away, but she'll move right back onto it. Oh, run, oh, run, oh, run. As you will have a horrible time. But you are in the matrix as you decide to run around and drone. This is why you drone, ladies and gentlemen. A frag grenade claims the life of ISO. No more shotgun. Abolish finding a kill on Ash. Hasn't been able to find a spear entry in a while here. But 2 spears will be able to do something. But 2 picks puts them up at the advantage. A little bit embarrassing, but it's okay, Vizsla. Head up, buddy. You get the second opportunity, and you'll get it the second time around. Breach getting open. Quickly establishing control of electrical. Maybe able to find the second here as the frag tries to get sent in, but Thermite rotating for more external pressure. 3 in electrical. Gazer with the external pressure. Abolish to shut down from the pillar. And Foreign left in a horrible situation. Abolish rises to the occasion. Drops a crazy amount of kills. I can't even count to help his team push for the victory, and CC somehow manage to bring it back from a deficit of 4 rounds, confirm the win, and win 5 rounds in a row to send themselves to Clubhouse with the advantage. What a game, what a game, and what a game. Nothing else to say but GG's to both teams, as it was very hardly fought out. But what can you do against the big CC on their own map? Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your caster, your observer, and your producer for this game. Hats on head, do a jumping jack, grab some food, and we'll be back shortly to send on to RPK's map, which will be Clubhouse. Peace. What a first map, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, FCC claiming it. Honestly, what else would you expect? We thought they had it down, but they didn't. RPK are now playing on their own map, and let's take a look at the map that we will be seeing for the day. We finally have a ban phase, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Clancy decided to get his head out of his ass, and now we move on to the game where 2 shield ops out of 4 have already been removed, and we'll head on over to Clubhouse. This is going to be the most intense game ever because one team has to fight to go to the grand final, and the other one just needs to win on a map to be able to send their team very easily into the grands. Church Arsenal, the name of the game. Now, you have CC defending first. That is also a benefit for them. Abolish leaning off his classic MP5 and now going for the Mingo tech using the P90. Needs more bullets for the roam. Honestly, this is a bigger map and it is going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. Can they manage to hold on to their lead? The first round is going to tell us all that we need to know about this face-off. Who is going to be more committed to taking this home? No controversial bans. You have most of the staple operators being taken care of quite early, actually. Zoli on that traditional DMR, but to no avail. No upside down repel is the product of what you just saw. You get taken care of. No bueno, as you are the first pick, and now they have no longer the advantage on attack. Already a horrible starting place here for RPK as a stim will reset Gazer like nothing ever happened. And now it's all about, can they get these hatches open without further disruptions? Mira on the board alongside with that Goyo. Breach is gonna get opened quite soon, and by breaches I mean the hatches. Verticality is going to be inevitable as that long haul becomes the first to fall. Impact trick looks to be happening quite soon though, but can he reach it? Abolish, you better throw that impact or Gazer and he will land one set of impacts and he won't have the next. Goyo has the opportunity to continue to deny, but he is too far away. He's a ways away from deny. One man on the baby steps and he is on the drones, and it's all about boiling down the clock. In a minute 30 burnt off the clock and a minute 30 left on play. Now, it all cooks down to who finds the next pick here. CC have claimed an early live, but that can change very fast. Even 2 bodies is not an insanely safe lead. It's all about committing. And right now, an easy kill for Abolish has been dragged away from him. But he's going to get aggressive here because who the hell do you think he is playing safe? One pick claimed for the attackers, the second to claim as your dock falls. No more health, be safe with it. As bodies are dropping everywhere, the attacker is getting evened out on kills. 1v2 as ISO falls shortly, but he might stand a 1v2 situation. You can't count him out yet. His teammates all fallen around him. A lead that's been tossed around with. There's 2 impacts and a C4 left in hand. It has been by the graces of God that they are both here. Question is, who's going to get more aggressive? Flash raining in, but to no avail as it hits the first side of the oil rig. Mira taking a little bit more of a traditional approach to playing safe here. ISO has the ability to just divvy it up into 2 1s, but the question is he going to get executed before that happens? 10 seconds left on the clock. Goyo, a little bit of interesting aim, but it'll claim the round regardless. And nevertheless, that's CC for the first. And Pre-Fire a Doom will send them most likely to Gym Bedroom. Mira on the board alongside with Castle. Doesn't matter if there's no Azami. They can have a great time still holding up here. When we see CC playing this map, we don't see a lot of shields. You see one either for top red or on the bed, and that's about it. And honestly, that's all you need. The Azami brings in a lot more utility-wise when it comes to blocking off angles, but right now, does that matter? We see the lineup coming in from the attackers, and you have to ask yourself, does it matter on the operators they could potentially have? Would it affect the round? Like having an Azami could be quickly countered by the Flores and the Ash. Right now, they're being brought to target the castles on the highway windows and the shields. The question is, who's going to win the round? We've seen people cheer on CC. We've seen them do the impossible by bringing it back on match point. RPK gifted a wishing well from God, and it absolutely fell as they were dissected in overtime. Kind of lucky and kind of unfortunate at the same time that we didn't see it go to triple overtime, but it is what it is. Main point of attack is definitely going to be CC and Cash. The faster you establish the window control, the breach control, and garage control, you can start to funnel your way into the site having the window overwatch. So far, the Sledge is going to be the one to help open up the breach with the assistance of his frag grenade. Garage getting opened up soon after. 3 bodies assigned. One a little bit more safe into Con. The single wall not open, meaning you can't play any difficult angles onto the green box. Sledge taking damage from the Con single. Can he keep his life on the board? Frag raining in, closing in. Anybody sitting close would have been taken care of, but this Castle is going to be lethal for late round plays if he isn't droned out. Almost an easy body, and maybe patience would be a virtue if somebody were to just wait for him to break that barricade. And Castle, quick one tap. It's of course Gazer on the other side of that. Never seen anybody make the UMP look so good, but you still have Squirtinator. You still have Mr. Charlie Worley himself up on the board. But a quick sub. We don't know how the chemistry is soon. This is my first time casting a team with this many roster changes. I've casted RPK way back when, but they didn't have any of these players, so we don't know how their chemistry works. 2 of the waves playing together definitely means there's some chemistry, but bringing in Squirtle this late, it could prove to be fatal. You've lost your soft breacher, but you have one more that has 3 pockets alongside with the ace with the breach charges. Quick Logi drop though, they need something to do here. He's dropped off the balcony. Who is adding in the pressure from Logistics Hatch? Crypto sitting in the corner. You gotta check your corners. A quick refrag, but who's gonna dare to res in the middle of the site? But Ash just deciding to get ballsy here. Castle on the flank finds 2. And now Zoli left in an area of despair. Has the mirror to help him out. Has the Ash closing around, but it'll get shut out. Abolish versus Zoli. You've just put City against United, and you've got shut down as it'll be Abolish to win the gunfight, and that'll be 2-0 for CC, as this is looking much better than their previous game. But I do have to add, every time we see a team go up 2-0 on the other team's map, it all falls down soon after. So I'm not going to say anything, because Caster's Curse is a very real thing. Let's see how they'll build up from here. One more round until they can unlock either the basement site or decide to go bar stage. But as for Gym Bedroom, it will not be seen for a couple of rounds because of the rotation parameters. It looks like we will be seeing, though, a CC hold. Looks like Castle for the verticality is going to be mandatory, as they will be committed to it. Lots to be done here for both teams. CC just need to win this game to put the nail in the coffin. RPK just need to keep their hunger for the game alive, as they did a beautiful job on Nighthaven. You haven't seen a team take CC to overtime on their own map in a while now. If they can continue this, they'll be in a great position, and they're already off to a great start in this round as they've burned off the Mira. Breach going to be a little bit of a nightmare, though, as it is going to have a black mirror slapped on it. And even if you do pop it, it's going to make it all the harder to get the breach, because you try to put an exothermic while it's up, you get C4'd and popped. You try to wait, you'll get C4'd and popped. But right now, it looks like Gazer will be the one looking to get very aggressive. And the C4 does not connect. Will there be another? An impact will even do the job to be able to keep this breach denied. ISO, first blood to abolish his run out. No refrag, you gotta be ready for him. And he will get a stim. No damage ever happened. And that will be first blood yet again for CC. I haven't seen them go down first picks yet, but the breach is open. The Flores is popping up all of the castles on secret stock and the baby steps, so they will have a good chance of being able to control the verticality without a big problem. Zoli, now Foreign, have now been dealt a significant amount of damage where they are putting critical positions of the round. Squirt at 50 HP, but completely unaware that there's a man Harry Potter that could punish him later in the round if he were to walk in. Ash hopping in the breach, and that comm has to go out. Who is ready? She just drops down secret. Who the hell does that? And looks to walk up red yet again. You have a psychopath, but sometimes a psychopath is what you need, as she has managed to try to find the only kill. Almost had the play there, but her teammates can't stay alive for anything, and it'll be the patience from the Frost to find the kill. Easy shot to the 1 HP Ash to confirm 3-0. And now they have basement bar as their stages to defend. Rounds are starting to get better and better here from CC, and this is the team you know and love. RPK falling apart, but they have timeouts in hand if needed. You have to ask yourself, why aren't they capitalizing? The more you can get from these timeouts, the better for you in the long run to be able to get these kills, to be able to get these rounds, and not to fall on your own map. Now you could be asking yourself, Sino, what stage are we at of this series? And I could tell you, if you haven't been listening, we are in a best out of 3 lower bracket infinite overtime final. Whoever wins this heads on over to the grand final to verse Wild Boys Obey. The first map was Nighthaven Labs, where CC came back from an insane round deficit to claim the victory 8-6. Now we move on to Clubhouse, map 2 series point, where CC need to win this, and they will be in the grand finals. If not, and RPK miraculously pull off a comeback, we will be heading on over to Cafe Dostoevsky. First blood, Crypto tries to get aggressive and will fall shortly. You've already gone up 3 rounds. What more do you want? And that is the power of greed. You've lost the body, and now you have to adapt. Where are the roamers? None of them, because we know CC goes for a little bit of a bunker take when they play downstairs. Sorry, boys, just have to fix up the gain. First call, gone out. First kill for CC, gone out. C4, legs of Zoli have now been blown off. He is not having the game he was having last time. Gone for the support role, lost his crackhead tone, and it is just not... Lots to be done for RPK. CC being graced, but it is Clubhouse defense. That does give them that slight advantage, but if they keep capitalizing on their lead, it won't matter the advantage of having defense second hand if it's 5 or 6-0 or 1. You get the gist of it. Quick aggression, Zoli, did you see his head? He's playing safe on, he's playing aggressive on you, and you guys, no way. No way we do those feed holes, ladies and gentlemen. And don't expect somebody to walk up and get an easy kill. Zoli for first blood, right back to playing like an idiot, and he, I mean, I said playing like an idiot and proceeds to blow up his own drone, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's gotten first blood. He has some room to be faulty. They know playing close on that door is enough to get him rid, but what just happened? Where was Foreign? He tries to drop, oh, he dropped logistics, got a kill, and then died. Fair trade as the shotgun playing close has now been taken care of. Logistics is anybody's game. First Twitch drone taken care of, and a lot to be done here, and it's going to be very easy to do, a very easy execute if they can decide to play like a team. One refrag can mess this whole play up. Mute popping the mirror, and that is rough as Castle has a gunfight to deal with here. The question is he up for the battle? Gazer rotating out, Isa winning his next gunfight. So much to do, but Zoli finding his rhythm. All he needed was a Rios to win, but Vizsla has the opportunity to do something great, but Squirtle is just too fast, too weary, and too aggressive in the building to get two. Gets the kills. First round for RPK has now been established, and this is potentially where the comeback begins. Last defensive round here for CC, and if they can manage to make it a 5-1 lead, maybe they have it all secured and they don't have to worry. But when it gets to that 4-2 area, 2 rounds is not safe enough. Gym and bedroom will be attempted yet again, and hopefully better than the last time around. They were struggling heavily, but it's all about second chances, and in this case they have a very good success rate on this site as they've only lost it once. Now they need to not lose their first body, as that was the clear deciding factor of this round. Having one man fall, trying to deny the breach, it's honestly just not worth it because it was going to get opened regardless with that Ash on the board. No boots on the ground yet as the preliminary damage is starting to be done. Zoli, the first man to take damage off of what I can only imagine is some shots through the feed holes. Crypto smarter this time than playing aggressive. Abolish being assigned to the breach, but will fall back. Not a lot of heavy holding really for CC and Cash. We haven't really seen a lot of involvement. Abolish dropping the hatch, the smarter idea with that window being opened up quite fast. Still has a C4 below, quite ready for it, but it'll be quickie for an easy kill here. He's ready. Abolish waiting to get a quick ping, and now that is going to be the key way to defend anybody for those logistic drops. Foreign might have an easy kill if he had have done that 10 seconds ago, maybe. Full health on deck here for CC, except for Quickie and Abolish. All about the time that they play. And right now, it's all an audio game. Model already in. Somebody detonate the C4. Call it, Abolish. Call it. It's all about playing the C4. Are you going to let it happen? And yes, it will. He'll claim 2. Burst fire from Quick. He'll claim a headshot. And the quick finish turns it into a flawless round. What was an insane waste of time. They were running down the clock, just turned into mayhem as they proceeded to just reap everything in sight and anything that got in their way. And RPK is mowed down as they'll switch on to defense with 1 round to defend themselves before it goes to match point. Basement, their first choice of poison, and hopefully they are going to have a much better first impression on defense than they did attack, because not really the game you want to be losing so many rounds, even if it is defender sided at times. Not the area you want to be losing bodies, advantages, and rounds, especially to a team that has a map on you. Zoli right back to his old crackhead ways, and he might have a kill here in hand if he can manage to just single-handedly get one kill and get fragged out. Bodies playing passive, 4 men bunkered down, and 1 playing like an insane player is going to be the idea. But is going ace going to be a quick enough reaction to take care of it? Gazer, oh Gazer, it's going to be a matter of who reacts faster. And if that Vigil decides to go for a run out, that's a quick, easy kill. Make that a 5-man bunker as he will return to the site. Vigil now just has the ability of evading the drones. Can he find a way to go back up? Abolish, easy kill, but not before his verticality got taken out, and now they won't have kitchen verticality. Only the hatch will be open, and that isn't going to be the best. 2 C4s left. Habana, are you sure you're going to want to be standing there? 1 more C4. You better hope the floor is lava. But Vizsla deals heavy amounts of damage, deciding to get even more challengeable, and we'll get another kill. Crypto finds one of his own while we're not seeing it. You'll have one tucked into the site door, just waiting to execute, and you'll have the other one sitting on the rotate. Trying to get aggressive here. Zoli's the only man that knows how to get aggressive, but it just doesn't work this time around. C4 connection. Mira getting burned off in the meantime. 1v3. Vizsla's in sight. The pressure moto, they're just waiting, and it'll be abolished to close out the round. And ladies and gentlemen, we have moved to match point. It is a forfeit as CC head on to the grand final of the champions' first ever season. What a game. GG.